No, you wanna see me naked, naked, hey. Wah, 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 no, you wanna see me naked, naked, hey.
Hey fairies, and welcome back to my channel. So I know there are like 1,000,001 lace frontal wig tutorials out there, but this is going to be 1,000,002 because I just want to do a start to finish for you guys. So I already plucked the frontal a little bit off camera, so I'm just showing you guys what I did because this process with plucking with tweezers takes like 1,000,001 hours, I'm telling you, but it's all worth it if you want it to look as natural as possible. So this is just a technique that I did. All you do is just basically make the hairline look as sparse as possible without having any bald spots. And this is all the hair that I plucked from the frontal, so you can imagine how long it took, but you need to do the time to get the good results. So I used some quick blue bleach as well as 30 developer to make my mixture. It should look like a melted marshmallow mixture. I like to let my bleach sit a little bit before I start applying it to the hair, just so that bleach doesn't seep through the lace and then you kind of bleach your hair on top of your lace and you have like blonde roots. So I'm just taking a spatula applicator and then I'm just applying this all over the lace, not really putting too much pressure, just letting the bleach just kind of glide right over the lace. And then I'm just going to apply some aluminum foil so that the heat process can kind of make it a little bit quicker. And I let it sit for 25 minutes and then this is what it looked like afterwards. Nothing super special, just showing you guys what it looks like. Then I'm just going to rinse out my bleach in my hair, and then I'll also be shampooing it with some Shimmer Light shampoo. Because it is going to be a little bit orange afterwards, but all you do is use the purple shampoo and it will take out any of the brass tones. Now you want to make sure that you have boiling hot water unless your fabric dye will not work. So I'm going to be using the Ritz fabric dye in the color dark brown. I think I want to start mixing dark brown and cocoa, but I haven't done that experiment yet for me to be showing you guys what it looks like because I might mess up or maybe not. But I'm just doing about 1.5 capfuls of the dark brown into the hot water. Then I'm just going to be putting some sea salt in it. I saw another YouTuber do this and I just been doing it ever since I started doing this tinting the lace technique. I don't really know what it does. I believe it just makes it so that the color isn't as orange, I think, or doesn't have like super red undertones, but I've just been doing it and it works for me, so I've just been sticking to it. You guys don't have to, but this is just what I do. Then I'm just going to cook my lace and putting it into the hot water and letting that marinate and sit for about a minute or two. I think I did it for about 2 minutes. And then I'm just going to stab that lace into that hot water because I don't want to burn my fingertips off because I did it before and it burned. So I'm just going to use something to help me put the lace all in the water. And then after 2 minutes, I'll just take it out and then rinse it out. So I let the lace dry about 60% before I started to braid it because it's easier to braid it when it's wet. So all I did was just braid these sides, but this is the wig cap that I like to use. It's a mesh wig cap. I just think that it lets my hair, my scalp breathe a little bit. And off camera, I just use a white eyeliner just to mark where my natural hairline starts. I do have a pea head, so I have to make my wig caps a little bit smaller than the average Joe because one time when I did just do the lace frontal at the end of the wig cap, it was way too big. So if you do have a smaller head circumference, all you have to do is just measure out where your natural hairline starts with the wig cap and then mark that off and put your lace wherever that line marks. So then I just braided the hair down so that it would not be in the way when I start to sew. And then sewing on the lace frontal, you're going to go through the wig cap and through the lace frontal. I like to wrap the thread around twice and then pull, and then I just do this all around the frontal area. So now it's time for sewing on the weft. So I use 4 bundles. Actually, no, I use 3 bundles. I use a 24, 22, and 20 inch and an 18-inch frontal. So all you do is just take the wefts on the end of the cap and then start sewing. I sew through the track and then through the wig cap, wrap it around twice with my needle, just like I did with my frontal. So I just sew it from the end to end, and then I wrap it around and just sew it in the opposite direction, and just literally keep doing the same zigzag pattern. I'm mainly going to be fast forwarding through this whole entire part because it's all repetitive and the same. And then when I sew all the way up until the frontal, I just sew it through the track, and then I sew it through the frontal, wrap it around twice with my needle, pull through, and then you want to make sure that you really secure that track onto the frontal so that it lays flat when you take the hair out of the braid and you have no lumps or bumps with your wig. And then just start sewing again in the same zigzag pattern. So once I get to the top, I'm just going to take the needle and then sew it through the thread and then the frontal, and then I pull in a downward motion so that I know my frontal is laying flat and it's not going to be super bulky. And then I just cut the thread and then make 2 ties with it, and then cut the excess thread, and then the sewing is complete. Now all I'm doing here is just cutting the wig cap from the lace frontal. You want to make sure that you aren't cutting the excess wig cap too close to the stitches that you have on the wig, because it will disassemble every single thing that you did so good, it's worked so hard for, and we don't have time for that. So all I'm doing right here is just cutting the lace off of my frontal. I kind of just, just cut it all around. I did end up going in and kind of doing more of a jagged cut when I actually put it onto my hair, and just cut it to my natural hairline. No one's hairline is like this perfect, but I just wanted to get the lace off and, keep it moving. So I did do some baby hairs. I took some Cantu styling gel and just gelled down some of the baby hairs in a certain section, and then just kind of did a little swoop. There it is. Now I'm going to sew on my elastic band. This is my trick to not having to gel down my frontal anymore. So I just take my elastic band. You can get them from Amazon. They sell them for like a yard for like $4. So I just measured it to the nape of my head. That's how small my head is. I'm so serious when I say I have a pea head. But all I'm doing is just sewing it onto my frontal in the inside, so that when I put the wig on, it just kind of secures my frontal down. You don't want to make the elastic band too small so that it's way too tight when you put it on your head, and it's basically like you're suffocating your brain. Make sure that you have a lot of breathing room when it comes to making your elastic band and measuring it to your nape of your head, but you still want to make it a little bit snug when you put it on, so you don't have to gel down your lace. Hello, it's me. So all I'm doing right here is just making sure that everything is lined up when it comes to my frontal, as well as just blending in my frontal with my powder foundation. So I'm just taking my Sephora Micro Smooth powder, which is just my skin tone, and I'm just taking this brush. It's the 67, I think, from Sephora. And all I'm going to do is just put this all on my hairline, so that when I put on my frontal, it just blends in and I don't have to do any gluage or anything to take off my edges, and everything just blends right in. So I don't know who this person is, it just popped up out of nowhere, but this is just the hair when I wet it and then just combed it through, because I wanted all uniform curls. So it's just pre-washed hair, and this about 80% dry. So I'm just taking my pick of my comb and just kind of giving me a little bit of volume in the roots of my hair. You kind of want to be careful when it comes to fluffing this hair, because this hair gets big, y'all, big. But it is beautiful, 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 beautiful hair. I am seriously obsessed with this hair. I'm so into the kinky curly, kinky straight textures because I just think they're beautiful. They remind me of African American hair, and I'm obsessed. But all I'm doing right here is just taking some more of that powder with a smaller brush and just making sure that my frontal is blended in with my natural hairline. Then I just used a little bit of the Got To Be Glued Free Spray, just to kind of lay down some of the baby hairs to make it a little bit more natural. I literally only did like 1 or 2 swoops from any other excess baby hairs that I didn't do with the glue from when I made the wig. But all I did was just spray a little bit, make a little swoop in the front, but that was about it. But this is pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was really informative. I hope it was really super good when explaining, because you know I try to do as much explaining as I can. But this hair is from Annabelle, and it's in the kinky curly style. I should have said that at the beginning of the video, but I used 3 bundles, 24, 22, and 20, if you guys didn't get that in the middle of the video. And I used a 18-inch frontal. This is what it looks like up close with the texture. I did not put any product in the hair. This is just what it looks like air dried and a little bit fluffed with my comb. But I hope you guys really enjoyed the tutorial again, and hope to see you guys in my next tutorials. I love you. Bye.